Welcome everybody to episode 11 of the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Playthrough, and it's time for the thrilling conclusion of this whole big adventure story.
What's going on? Why won't the cannon fire?
Because it wasn't supposed to fire. We're finally getting to the real meat of the story here. All the things that we're leading up to in the dark story is finally going to come to a head right here. We're going to find out exactly what went through the mind of Gerald Robotnik, the creator of Shadow the Hedgehog, and creator, and I guess low-key creator of all the edge that we currently wish we had back nowadays.
Yeah, all that art.
You haven't given up yet?
It's all over for us.
What do you mean?
I just received a message from my boss. This space colony
So full of emotion, Rouge.
Yeah, I think it was Rouge who did the voice direction for Sonic Adventure 2. Like, her voice actors did the actual voice direction for the English voice actors.
Yeah, she's a big person there. But yeah, I guess she's just reading and focused on reading instead of being emotional. Or she's actually playing in character as Gerald, and he is completely despair and lost his mind, so he's not emoting anymore.
I've always found that characters are best utilized whenever the characters, like the voice actors, actually take the characters and make them their own. Like, just for instance, I'm gonna use Kung Fu Panda as an example. Like, Jack Black made Poe he turned Poe into him essentially, but instead of like turning Poe into a Jack Black comedian person, he was able to put himself into Poe. I think it's a very fine line that it's not easy to do, but it's it's beautiful when it works out the way it's supposed to. And I wish that I think that's one thing that I can say that the current voice actors of Sonic do well, is that they put themselves into the character. I guess that's better than nothing, as opposed to unemotional just reading off a script.
Well, what I understood from this time is that the voice director was very horrible, because it was actually Japanese themselves giving the voice actors the direction, so most of the time they had no idea what's going on, which is why so many of those 90s Japanese games have extremely weird voice acting. I think it's especially John St. John who talked about his time at Sega, the guy who does Duke Nukem and Big the Cat, and he said it was very awkward, so...
Yeah, Duke Nukem. Everybody freaks out because Big the Cat is actually Duke Nukem.
Good times. But yeah, so I guess a lot of the voice actors were kind of blind here, so that doesn't really inspire the idea to really put yourself into it.
Why did Gerald... Why did Robotnik just give Rouge the... whatever.
He gave her the diary because they're trying to find out exactly why they're about to, die. That's the problem.
And he knows that Rouge probably has the best skills in doing detective stuff.
Yep.
Because he was already looking for it. Well, Eggman is taken by surprise.
This whole effect, by the way, has reminded me a lot of another PS... Well, I don't know if Sonic has ever released on the PS1, but it reminds me of a PS1 game known as Parasite Eve, with its opening. All these just letters and number and words just kind of showing up on the title screen or whatever. Kind of weird, but
it puts you into the situation. There's like, now all of a sudden it I don't know. It kind of gives this effect of involvement. I don't know if that's even the right word, really, because you read these words as they coming across the screen, because these aren't just gibberish. Like, if you look closely, you can actually read the words. He's actually typing this diary, Gerald is, and that gives you this sense of, wow, this is the mind of somebody who's going mad.
And I guess maybe it's just words just suddenly start, I don't know, getting an extra meaning or something. But ooh, that word that explains why. I don't know. It's a nice representative of how the brain works. And of course, it's very hard to make this visually look interesting, because it's essentially just a bunch of characters looking at a computer screen. So
yeah,
you got to be a little creative to make it interesting.
Yeah.
I appreciate them being creative.
So that's why you released Shadow from
It's not an easy scene to stage.
rebel is overpowered. If the colony collides with Earth, it will shatter it.
At least we
Eggman
have the boss
immediately
music playing for
charges.
this fate.
That mad scientist.
Eggman is all happy about it.
Eggman is even in his impending death, he's still like impressed with what's going on with Gerald.
He just recognizes
That
genius.
mad
He's like, yeah, I would have done that.
What a genius! We're all about to die.
He just appreciates professional work. He's like, yeah, that's a professional villain doing that.
We have to use your
Appreciates quality.
You're the one that
Yeah.
Master Emerald has the power to stop the
All right, Master Emerald to the rescue. My guy Knuckles gonna save the day.
And it got really small, like really small.
Okay, you know that's
I have reason
hammer
to-
space.
Yeah, exactly. Hammer space. I have reason to believe that the Sonic character, in fact, any other video game character you think of has this sort of hammer space. Legend of Zelda, how does Link carry all that nonsense around without being weighed down by it all? You know, hammer space. That's what it is.
There's one video game I played, I don't know the name again, but it's like a Grand Theft Auto parody, but then at the beginning of the game they actually show him having all the weapons you can have, so he actually carries 20 guns in his hands at the same time, and he falls over, slapsticky. That's funny. And I'm making fun of that you have 5 million guns in the game.
That's the kind of self-awareness that's funny.
Yeah, because
Yes.
All right,
it's weird it's
Cannon.
called a Sonic stage, even though Sonic barely appears in it.
Well, this is the true superpower of teamwork. Everybody's gonna go in. And,
That's cheap. Okay, they broke this in the HD version. You can't just punch him out anymore. You actually have to wait for him.
yeah, in the
Shield.
original versions, you could actually just punch the robot, and the shield wouldn't matter. But now apparently you have to like wait for him to put the shield down.
Okay, this is cheap. I actually just keep blasting the target to keep the timer from running.
The chaos, the chaos bots are awful here. That's why you have to like if you can keep the timer off, then they won't blast you and they won't punch you. So
And they
you
can't
can
deflect
just
the shots
and
'cause
you
they're
can't
stuck.
deflect them. Yeah, that's the best part. Like I'm glad they didn't make that.
No! Go back down! Go back down! Where are you going? I didn't even know this could do that. I'm taking this shortcut.
Oh God.
Whoa. That was
Well,
not
you know,
supposed to happen. Oh. Leap of faith!
This
Into
part
the
bothers
unknown.
me. Like you have to get those dynamite packs before you fall, or like you're done.
Well, by now you should know how to play, so it's just a matter of.
Yeah, I know, but it's still just the concept and the door opening.
It's annoying, but it's a nice final exam kind of idea.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you got this far. Let's see if you could do it again.
But this is the final exam stage, so
Yeah, and they don't have
finishing school.
Go destroy the room. Oh no, wait, no. What am I talking about? The door.
You don't destroy the room.
Yeah, don't destroy the room. That's a bad idea.
blow up the entire thing. Oh.
Okay, are you okay, now
I'm trying to cut the timer at the time that the weight comes down, but
No, you're trying to pad out the video.
no, I'm not. 25 minutes, and you're telling me I need to pad out the video. Come
No,
on.
I'm telling you, you don't. Okay, there you go.
I just got the timing bad.
Like, if you really want an A rank in Cannon's Core, you really have to be able to abuse that that timer.
I was working on it.
Now it's Eggman's turn. Go.
I'm okay with the fact that you've got everyone here, but you switch from Eggman to Tails, so you don't necessarily lose gameplay in the first like third of this. What do you want to call it? I guess I would call it rock, but like this last stage with everyone involved, like basically for a third of it, it's like, oh, it's Eggman and Tails like gameplay for the first bit, and then it becomes I forget who's next. Not Sonic, I don't
next
think.
is Rouge.
And, yeah, that's Rouge. Then
Okay, and
Knuckles.
Yeah, then it's like
Okay,
it
you
keeps-
can't
keep-
punch the robot.
I know, I'm still on. Hey, GameCube player over here, give me a break.
Anyway, you were saying, Torch.
Yeah, but
Oh, okay,
Don't
wait, the
even the
platform's
green-
there. Why am I getting hurt? Duh.
You're dead.
The green acid lava wasn't even moving, which is the funny part. It was just stagnant, and then he was still getting
Well,
hurt by it.
It's still
Still
acid
acid.
lava, as you call it. What bothered me was that I was getting hit on a platform. That's what bothered me.
Yeah. Yeah. I got no rebuttal for that one. Nice, by the way.
I hate this one room. This is like, oh, beautiful. Okay, never mind.
You were ragging me on the robots. It's like, I'm trying to get rid of them. It's like, give me a break.
Okay, but no, the chaos ones. That one particular room drove me insane. Like, there's never any way to actually knock them out. There you go. Now you got yourself.
I was about to say, if I get hurt by that again, I am going to be so salty.
What was my thought process just a second ago? But yeah, no, it's like you got Eggman and Tails as one gameplay style, and you get to play. Oh, really? You get to be both of them at the same, like back to back. So that way you don't. It's not like it's like suddenly you're Rouge and now you're back to your Eggman and now it's Knuckles. You know, it's not like that where to jumble the gameplay to confuse you. It's like it's literally like.
Oh, you're keeping the gameplay modes the same, essentially.
Well,
No,
I mean, you're gonna switch between them at some point.
Yeah, different segments. It's saying it's like
Tank
it's just-
segment,
it's-
Emerald segment, then Sonic.
It's essentially that. Yeah, exactly. It's like you got basically two things. It's basically like, I call it 3 segments, but it's really just for 5 to my knowledge. But like 3 segments. One of them is what just happened.
you're not supposed
You're
to
not
jump
supposed to jump on
platform.
that platform, but I thought if I stopped the clock, we never actually tested that theory until now.
But it didn't work.
But yeah, and all. But yeah, no. Then you got the Eggman and then the Knuckles Rouge gameplay, and then I think Sonic's after that. I could be wrong.
Yeah, Sonic's the last one.
Yep. But just like, I just like that they don't just like suddenly like switch up gameplay from like Eggman to Rouge or Sonic first and then suddenly Tails, and I'm glad they do that. We don't just switch up gameplay on you.
What you're saying is that I understand what you're saying. You're essentially saying that the gameplay is they're getting everything out of the way to begin with. It's like okay, here is Tails and Eggman, so this is one form of gameplay, and then here is Knuckles and Rouge, there's the other gameplay, and then you get Sonic. There's no like, here's Tails, and then here's Rouge, and then here's Sonic, and then here's Knuckles and Eggman, and it's keeping it consistent. Like here's different. You're making sure that you're not flipping back and forth.
Exactly, it's as consistent as consistent can be. Obviously, yes, you just changed from Eggman to Rouge, but it's like,
Well,
you know,
we're
they,
out of tank characters, so we kind of
Yeah,
forced it.
exactly. But the point is like, if it was suddenly Eggman to Rouge and then back to Tails, you know, that would just it would drive me bonkers. Like, it would just be like, why do we have to continue to keep switching between characters? And it's just like the most annoying thing.
So weird that there's also that this part of the ARK is so Egyptian-like, as if the ARK knew Eggman also had a base in Egypt or something. That's staying.
Oh yeah. Well, the understanding is that I don't know if it's really necessarily Egyptian. It's more I think it would be more like designed like the Mayan ruins. I mean, because everything that Knuckles' tribe is like, and according to Sonic Adventure 1, like right down to the name of Tikal, which is some Mayan. It's a Mayan city, I think, is Tikal is. So it's kind of designed like that. Like you see the designs, everything seems that kind of.
All right, yeah, I guess it makes sense. So
That kind of style.
It's clear they reused the pyramid assets and all, so it kind of
yeah, it's
makes it
but
feel like you're back in Egypt now, especially here. Just quicksand stuff, right?
But it's generally consistent with the theme that they tried to use, and they tried to use the idea of the shrine and the artificial chaos based on real chaos. It's based on that culture.
Oh, this part. This part is the part that makes you so glad you picked up the air necklace back in the mine. Also, I can't find the timer for the life of me, so I'm just gonna punch through. Excuse me. Doop-a-doop-a-doop.
Oh, this is the most underwater stage the 3D games ever got.
I cheated the system.
Yeah,
I was
you
supposed
cheated the game.
I was supposed to find the clock, stop the lasers, get on with my life, but I just cut out the middleman and got on with my life because I didn't think I would make that.
Does Air Nexus give you extended air breath, or does it make you?
Oh no,
permanent?
you're basically a fish now.
Okay, that's good. You know, because
That's your reward for exploring. This just got a whole lot easier.
Like normally you're
Yeah.
supposed to catch the air bubbles, but ow.
With Knuckles, hopefully you just ran into a ceiling place. Can you punch in the water? I
No,
forget.
that's the problem. That's why I ran into the in-place chaos.
Also, I just kind of like the idea, of basically what was going on here in the Ark, which basically you mentioned the ruins and everything. It's like, well, the Chaos Emeralds were originally being protected by the Echidnas, this Mayan-like society. So, in practical theory, in essence, like the Chaos Emeralds in that sort of like environment, I don't know. It just feels like it seems like. They were trying to
It's a
think
call back to what the previous adventure was, which is the whole idea of this adventure happened before, and now we're building up on that. Like Knuckles going, no! Failure.
it must be very painful to watch yourself back and all these these transgressions against.
Hate it.
By the skin of my
That was-
teeth, it had reinitialized.
It totally did too, but you barely got the time back. But yeah,
Try
no,
to think.
it's like. Now you can go ahead, Roger.
Go ahead, Roger.
I keep seeing all those animals falling out the robots, and it makes me wonder, did it just leave them there? So after the end of the game, everyone leaves the space station, just a bunch of seals, confused, walking around the corridors.
Well, every other Sonic game ends that way, so why not?
That's true.
They just kind of run off and go home, wherever that is.
Good luck coming back home.
Right?
Space station.
Camera.
Well, gun robots don't have that.
Yeah,
They
but
have
there's
the
couple.
Chaos drives.
No, he's
So they were
talking,
Eggman robots?
no, he's talking about the animals that just wander like. they wander
Oh,
around aimlessly.
well, that's why Sonic is supposed to save them. Supposed to, but he's like, yeah, whatever. Alright, take
yeah,
off.
they're here.
Showers anyway.
Here's another game break moment. I didn't realize this. There's actually a clock down this area, but I don't like doing that, so I just decided to move that over.
You cheater.
Wee.
I'm showing every possibility of the game.
That's true. Yeah, now it does look more Aztec. It does kind of look like Lost World from Sonic Adventure 1 now, and that's kind of cool. I never noticed that before.
Yeah, it kind of does, which is kind of what makes me like. It kind of just is odd to me. Like this is supposed to be a sci-fi, there. Look at the background. It's like the merging of Mayan and like advanced technology. It's like what even? But it's still good.
No problem.
D for
Oh.
That's kind of like the theme of Sonic, right?
You for doll.
Ancient times versus.
Yeah, it's kind of like. Yeah, having that like the Chaos Emeralds are an ancient ancient like mystical
Oh,
thing
sure.
that was moved into like the new world, that sort of thing.
And now Amy gets her only decent character moment for the whole game. Time to turn Shadow back to the light.
To the light.
I really gotta stop whining. Everyone's trying their best to help out, and so must I.
Well, where'd your hammer go then? I wonder. You don't carry anything around? Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It's hammer space.
Shadow,
Hammer
She's
space.
the only one who takes it literally.
help us.
Pretty much.
It's all going according to plan. There's
That
no
took way
reason
too long
to
for me to
help.
realize what you did there.
Besides, there's no way to save anyone.
Yep.
There has to be.
Well, she barely uses her hammer in this game, only in multiplayer, I think.
Trivial thing.
Yeah,
Does she?
and even
Actually,
even,
no.
even though, well, she holds it, like she holds it in her hand. But other than that, like when she jumps, you see the hammer in her hand, but she doesn't actually use it as a weapon or anything. She just has, she's a slower version of Sonic and Shadow.
And way more overpowered, but we'll get to that later.
Shadow, I beg you, please do it for them.
Yep.
That was
Trigger
it.
word.
You just... What?
I beg of you, please.
This cutscene actually makes sense now because it's like, or this flashback rather. The fact that he has a flashback, it's like those words kind of remind him of Maria. It's like they almost word for word what Maria was asking Shadow to do.
Now I'm thinking of Wreck-It Ralph for that sequence. That guy said the exact same thing that the tragic boyfriend of the guy constantly said. You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Sayonara.
But yeah, I guess first it was the tone of voice, and now it's the specific words that trigger the flashback.
Yeah, and that to me makes more sense than
Tear.
most specific words.
I've gotta go now. I have to keep my promise to Maria and you.
And now he realized what he did wrong. Time to go fix it.
Okay, something that... Now this is something you can't really ignore. The emeralds were all locked into compartments. How did they get down here? Exactly. And if Eggman was in the core with all the emeralds, why didn't he just do something about it then?
No idea. I can only assume it's done through a computer device and Space Colony A.R.K that Gerald already programmed it. Insert the Chaos Emeralds here, and then they.
Maybe all the emeralds were put for the
here's a crazy theory. Here's a crazy theory. Okay, here comes BioLizard, right? He's already open. He's here and he's ready to fight, and he can use Chaos Control, right? So theoretically, he can bring the Chaos Emeralds down to the shrine.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I was about
Here he
to
is.
say that. I was about to say maybe it's a BioLizard who did all this, but nope, beat me to it. Also, it's...
Well, another theory could be, now that I think about it, maybe the emeralds move into a lower part of the colony as a safeguard, and the BioLizard's there as the guardian to make sure that this all goes down. After all, Gerald did call this BioLizard Shadow as well.
Yeah, he was. They called it Shadow, but this is the prototype version. Although you do
I don't know.
how you got from giant lizard to small hedgehog. I mean, I get the prophecy and everything, and yeah, right, Shadow, you got this. No, he doesn't.
Shield!
What if that
You would make
laser?
Shadow the Hedgehog just so... You would just...
Oops.
No, I wanted to light attack! No!
What if the lizard? What if the lizard shape is kind of like the old version of
I need
the
a ring, I need a
Outdoor
ring.
Doom?
No!
Of the what now?
What if the lizard is kind of like a form of the Doom, kind of like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly? That Dark Doom started as this and then became what he looks like in Shadow's game.
Does have the same color scheme. Now that I think about it. Well, Shadow and the lizard in general will have the same color scheme.
Yeah.
Which
maybe
also
do
makes-
experimenting on that PC.
So this means that in order for Shadow to actually function the way Gerald wanted him to, the lizard does not. Okay, so the lizard is just a big fighting machine. This thing, Shadow, is the one who, like the theory that's always thrown out there, and the comics went along with this too, is that Shadow was supposed to cure a terminal disease or whatever that Maria had. So if Shadow has that kind of blood that was necessary to create the ultimate life form, then the lizard does not. So that's why he's a failure.
I suppose. Also, it kind of makes sense that he first make the big lizard, because then there would be much more blood and flesh used for the medicine instead of a tiny hedgehog. But then you see he has this breathing apparatus, so I guess being so big caused difficulties. So that it made him smaller.
Shadow's.
Oh well, it's interesting to think about.
You just bit my face. What's wrong with you? I'm getting a very
wonder-
King
I wonder
Boom
if Shadow-
feel off of this. Like, I can't go too fast or it turns the stage around on me.
It's exactly like the Big Boom boss from the Knuckles stuff. It's exactly that in that one segment. Also, I wonder how tasty hedgehogs would be to a giant lizard.
A delicacy.
Tasty.
Oh, also, by the way, why does the lizard
Genetic.
sound like a jaguar whenever it's like?
I guess they didn't have a better sound effect. But what would a giant lizard sound like, Torch?
I don't know, Godzilla maybe.
What does Godzilla sound like?
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
Oh,
I'm
don't
not
do
about
that
to
again.
Get,
I'm
someone
not
go
about to
get
replicate the
Dragon Sword
sound of
effect.
Godzilla. Yeah, dragon would make sense.
I said Dragon Zord.
You're
Yeah,
going.
we probably
Yes,
shouldn't
that's,
take
that's,
the lizard
that's, that's
part.
also what I said. Was dragon sword. Dude, I've been losing you for long.
Yeah, you can't really hear the lyrics, which is a shame because it's really I think the song itself, again, atmosphere for the win. It's that you have this sense that Shadow is fighting what could have been him. You have to wonder what goes through his mind when he does this.
Supporting me.
I hate these things.
What would you call these? Chaos spheres?
I would just call
Yeah,
it,
chaos. Why not?
well, he doesn't have the Well, he has chaos.
He has chaos control.
That's right.
He has chaos abilities. He
So what would
You
these
can
be?
remember-
Don't die.
I would call these biospheres. These are not necessarily chaotic in general. These are more like biotic, something like that. Like, I mean, he is the bio lizard. It makes sense. Also, now we're in the red.
Yes, now the anti-grav section's like, give me those. Get out of here! I'm sick to
About
death
time
of you.
too. You died almost as much as you died with Eggman at one stage.
Get out, you ugly prototype.
You ugly prototype. Yeah, Knuckles, you should have prototype.
Knuckles!
Knuckles.
That was Shadow.
Towards
Sorry,
you, even
Shadow.
watching.
Yes, actually. I just said Knuckles for some reason. My bad. Tell you what.
Well,
tell you what,
maybe-
just splice in when I said Shadow. Just put in put it in Shadow over Knuckles. You do it, Shadow.
Shadow. What was that, Roger?
Well, it's an ugly prototype because he looks like Knuckles apparently, but it's supposed to be Shadow. That's why he called it Knuckles.
Aw.
Aw.
Oh, nice.
You got us there, Roger.
No, you got them there.
Nice. Shots fired.
Oh, sick burn. Anyway. Shall I move on to the next episode?
Yep, last
Yep.
one. Here we go.